Okay. All right. Hey guys. So we're going to be starting this call today. We have two of the best MCTTs in our region. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Paul Hume, your regional tech director, and this will be a really cool class, only because we're covering two of the three buckets that I believe is very important to us and our business. If you think about the three buckets we have lead generation, follow-up, and transaction management. Okay, so we've got lead generation with designs today. We've got follow-up processes with opportunities, and our MCTTs will be taking it away for about 30 to 40 minutes each. What I would love for you guys to do is kind of introduce yourself. Drop in the chat box what market center you're from, what you're looking forward to today. Our market center tech trainers are a wealth of knowledge. This call is going to be recorded. It's going to be sent to them and your leadership teams, so you can kind of go back and follow through as well. But let's get started. We're going to kick it off. Jimmy, why don't you kick it off with opportunities? I know that you've got something to share as well. So the floor is yours, man, for about 30 to 40 minutes. If you need more time, go ahead. All right.
Thank you very much, Paul. And opportunities, it's our favorite thing, right? Because everyone loves doing transaction management. Do you know how many agents I have? It's like, just keep me away from opportunities. But seriously, opportunities is just a great way to, I'm going to show you how to dig in opportunities and try and make it somewhat fun. And I promise I'm going to show you two ways you can get some free GAC from KW. And who doesn't love free? As my older brother used to say, that good, fair price. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and just dig right in. And you guys, listen, if you have any questions, just yell, okay? Don't, sometimes I can't see what's being typed in there. So I want to make sure that you guys can see it. Can you guys see my screen, my home screen on command? I'm assuming you can. Delicious, good. Hold on, and then, okay. So first thing, okay, hold on. I'm putting my chat window over there. I can see you guys. Okay, so first thing, stupid notes about command. In case you don't know, it works in any browser, but better in Google Chrome and better in Google Chrome in incognito mode. How do you know it's incognito mode? Because it's dark at the top. If you're in Chrome or whatever, the three dots in the right-hand corner, just make sure in incognito mode. Does it have to be in incognito mode? Not at all, but it just makes it run just a little bit better. It's like putting, what's that stuff you used to put in the gas, you know, to make your car run better? It's kind of like that. Makes it work a little better. We're going to click right on down to opportunities. If you click on the KW, you can see it's opportunities. And what I wanted to do today is just kind of talk you through on how to do an opportunity. When I teach tech classes in our office, I always tell clients or our agents to do a fake one. Just test out the system, okay? So you know what you're doing. So that's what we're gonna do today, okay? What are opportunities? For me, opportunities are one, a way to track your business. What we're looking at here on the big window is all the listing opportunities and all the buyer's opportunities. When do we create an opportunity? My kind of rule of thumb is when someone raises their hand, I'm not creating an opportunity for every client in my database. You know, you'd have 400, you'd never be to do it. But think of it as that whiteboard on the wall that a lot of agents have, you know, with the lines in it and shows all their in escrows, and they do that to flex because, you know, they've always got fewer escrows than you. Anyway, this is kind of like your whiteboard. So you can see on the listings, there's little numbers in each section. So there's a 2 on cultivate, a 1 on appointment, and it's showing you along the path to a closing, okay? And then the same thing for buyers, 4 and 0. And what we do is we dig in to any one of these sections, like cultivate. I'm just gonna dig into cultivate, and then you have these boxes. So what are these boxes for? It really is, you're just moving the opportunity down the food chain. Oh, look, Jimmy, that's me. I created a fake one. He's an appointment now. Oh no, we're active. So I'm just moving these boxes around to track my business. So that's step number 1 on what opportunities are, tracking business, okay? Step number 2 for me is communicating with my broker, getting all my documentation back and forth, okay? So what I thought we'd do is let's create a fake opportunity, okay? And what I have our agents do is first create a contact for you or a fake person, all right? I created a opportunity for Superman, or I created a contact for Superman. So what we're gonna do is create an opportunity for Superman, okay? So Superman is a buyer. So we create opportunity. It was the button in the upper right-hand corner. What kind of type it? We're gonna make it a buyer because, you know, most of the time it's because we love buyers in this market, right? And then notice the red dots inside there. Wherever there's a red star, I have to put information in. So I'm just gonna type in, I created a contact for Superman. It's a fake one. I don't actually know Superman. Bill, I know you were worried that you didn't know him and I did. All right, so there's Superman. A lot of times on the name, I will actually, if I already know what an address is, I'll put the address in there. Fred Flintstone, Barney Rubble, yeah, of course. 123 Main Street, only to kind of keep track. But a lot of times when you're creating opportunity, you don't have an address name yet because you haven't even gone into contract. But if you've got it, throw it on in there. Estimated close date, don't matter. You can always change that. I'm going to say time frame of 3 months because I'm an optimist. And I don't know if you guys know, but Superman's loaded. So we're going to make it for $1 million. Okay. And then I have to move that window around. And then the default is going to put it in cultivate and watch. I'm not going to change anything. Oh, I got to put a commission in there. 2.5. So I'm going to create and watch what happens. So I create, and then it takes me right into the opportunity. Now, I'm going to back up. See this here in the corner where it says, I want to go back to the sales pipeline so you see what just happened. All right. If I go into buyers, I don't know if you remember, but originally it was a 4, now it's a 5. We click on in, we slide on down, and there's Superman, okay? And it's got the address. So now what I can do is I can move Superman around. You know what? Superman was more serious. He actually talked about maybe setting appointments. So I'm going to move it there. And then, you know, he calls me up 2 seconds later and says, dude, let's make an appointment because Spider-Man just bought that house over wherever. All right, so I'm going to move it to the appointment stage. So the idea is I'm moving Superman around as he goes through the different phases. All right. So now let's dig in to Superman and find out what is really going on with opportunities. Okay. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is there's a bunch of tabs at the top. All right, you guys. Today, we're going to concentrate on documents, offers, and commissions. Okay. So details, these are just the details that you wrote. You can always change them before. All right. So don't worry about that because remember I said it was 3 months or something. If it changes, it changes. Okay. So buyer's profile, I'm not even going to worry about that right now. I want to go straight to the good stuff and go to documents because documents is where we communicate with our broker, where we start sending all of our documents to the broker. And I want to point out a couple quick things about it. First of all, on the left-hand side, it's going to ask you what type of deal is this? So let's click on the checklist type. Is it a residential resale? Now, I'm pretty sure this is set up by your office. In our office, we set it up to where we have commercial buyers. You may not see a list quite like this, okay? But just to keep it simple, we're going to do residential resale because almost all of you should have residential resale because that's pretty standard. And in our office, we've set up residential resale to have 3 separate phases. Can you guys see this over in the left-hand corner? Consultation. So it's showing me a list of 17 documents. Man, let me tell you, in Nevada, we have lots of documents. I'm just telling you. So some of them are required, some of them are conditional. Can you guys see how some of them are in red, some of them are yellow? So this is what our broker has set up. I have to, at my brokerage, turn in a COVID acknowledgement of risk. Okay, you guys, your list may be different, but that's not the point. The point is the system looks exactly the same. Okay, then when we get under contract, there's a whole nother list. Most of these are going to be conditional because you may have a counteroffer, you may not. You know, you may have multiple addendums, you may not. So anyway, there's the list there. Let me show you one thing that is pretty interesting, and it's a question we get a lot. So remember, we're working with a buyer. Let's assume I've done the consultation stage and I've gotten all these documents signed. Maybe you're old school and you have it done on paper. So then what you have to do is you have to scan that paper in, turn it into a PDF, and then you just drag and drop each of those files into this corner, okay? So if I just click on the browse button, I'm just gonna put one in there, even though it's not the right form. Let's assume that this was the right form. It happens to be a PDF, and I click open, boom, now that's uploaded, or it's on the command system for you already, okay? And then you can see, oh, I still have to do duties owed. You can see what still needs to be done, okay? So one way you can create these documents is just to, I don't care what system you use to create the document, whether you're doing it with pen and paper or whether you're using, like in Las Vegas, we have Transaction Desk and AuthentiSign. That's fine. You can use that whole thing. All you have to do is upload each individual document. Now, we're going to dig into another way we can do it electronically inside Command in just a second, all right? But so let's say we finish the whole consultation. I'm going to give you Jimmy's trick number one. Jimmy's trick number one. Let's say in this market, you're under contract as a buyer, okay? So we've got all the way through, and then your buyer goes through the whole thing and then realizes, oh my God, I have to cancel the deal because the house has a rat infestation or something. All right. It does not automatically send the paperwork to your broker. What happens is once you get all the documents filled in, you have to click on the Submit to MC button on the upper right section. And each section has a Submit to MC button. Once you submit those buttons, it'll tell you over here whether it's completed or whether they're looking at it or what's going on, okay? So first you download one document at a time, and then once I get all my consultation docs, then I submit it to the MC, to the Market Center, okay? What we're trying to get you guys in the habit of doing is not waiting until the day before close of escrow because we want to get paid and turning in all our documents then. So that's why in our office we separate it into three. So let's say we're under contract, it gets canceled, okay? The question that I get is, do I have to start completely over? No, you do not. Because remember, we've divided up in the phases. The only thing that's changed, all of the consultation documents are going to be the same. It's the duties owed doesn't change. The only documents that change are the under contract documents, like the counteroffers and things like that. Well, here's my little trick. Can you guys see this little triangle up there under contract? You can add a new version. Okay. Now, let me actually do it. I'm going to download a document right here. Watch this. I'm going to download I'm doing the same one. Don't judge me. I just want to show you what the difference is. Okay. So we're in the under contract stage. We have a document there, but then everything cancels. It gets done. I'm going to switch it from I'm going to go to a new version because this one got canceled, and I'm going to call it under contract version 2. Okay. And then create a new version. Watch what happens. Boom, it's gone. It's not gone completely because I can go back and look at the original under contract section. Why is this so cool? Because your broker is going to love you. They're going to love you because you're keeping all your documentation. Okay. And yet it's not getting in the way. We're now on house number 2. So I just put it under version 2. Okay. So that was it. I just wanted to kind of show you that. I'm going to zoom back out. So remember, that's the document stage. You notice that I said that there was another way we could get into it, and that is through one of our free things that you get with Keller Williams is a free DocuSign account, You do not have to use DocuSign if you don't want to. Like I said, you can sign your documents anyway. But if you do, and you've signed up to it, you'll see a start a transaction button right there. And you can go in and then get your documents either created or signed right there inside that. So I'm just going to take like 2 or 3 minutes and show you how to set up for DocuSign if you want it, okay? And the way we do that is because if you don't see this start transaction button, it means that you're not, you don't have DocuSign turned on. So we're just going to take a quick second and go up to the upper right and then click on your pretty picture and your name and go to settings. We're going to run into settings, and then you're going to see DocuSign up here. And then mine, it's connected. But if you don't have it, then you just have to connect it right there. Okay. I'm not going to go into the whole process because what happens is, can you, Victoria, fantastic question. Victoria said, can I use my own DocuSign? No. Well, the short answer is yes, but then you got to continue spending $240 because I had a DocuSign account before I went into Command, and I did something sneaky. I said, well, I'm just going to use the same login that I used on the outside on my normal DocuSign account. That does not work. Keller Williams has a closed garden. So you can actually create a DocuSign account with the same credentials as the other one, but it's two accounts. It's two different accounts. My advice to you is to use a different email and have a different account. What happened on me when I closed my original DocuSign account, which I'd been using for years, the documents, they stay there. Double check with DocuSign that they'll still do that because I did this 3 years ago and I haven't looked in the last 2 years. But the documents stay there because I was worried about losing all my own documents. I'm pretty sure they keep them for like 6 years, but please double check with DocuSign before you want to. Yeah. So what happens is you will actually have a DocuSign inside of the account. This one will be free. Okay. I hope that answered your question. So you create the account right there. And if you want to know how to do that, I'm just going to show you a quick window. On my YouTube channel, I show you how to do that. Okay. And this is where it's just youtube.com/my name, Jimmy Chicky. And then you'll know you're in the right place when you hear Gary Keller's voice. Slide on down to the how-to section. And this is all sorts of how-to on everything having to do with Command. And one of these is how to, there you go, how to set up and set up a DocuSign account. And you know what I'm going to do for you guys, just for, hey guys, welcome everyone. Okay, so this is Jimmy Chicky. Okay, we don't need to hear my voice twice. There is the link to that one video. Okay, cool beans. So let's get back to the goodies. We're back to console settings. So once you set it up here, you'll see the transaction button over there. Okay, and before we jump back, I promised you guys 2 ways that I'm going to save you cool money. And the second way is an add-on that is free to you as a Keller Williams agent, and it's called Porch. If any of you guys have heard of Porch, then put it in the chat window because I'm curious, because most people don't even know we get this for us. Porch rule, very good, Bill, you know everything, Plaid Dad. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do, you guys. If you haven't explored the marketplace, go up here to the pretty little house right next to the bell, and I'm gonna click on the marketplace. These are add-ins for your Command system. Now, many of these are paid services that you have to pay for, okay? What I'm going to show you is the one that's free. And if it's not there right at the top, just type in the search window, over in the upper right, Porch. Now, what does Porch do? Well, thanks, Martin. What Porch does, it's a repair estimate. Let's say you get you're a buyer, you just got an offer accepted on a house, you did the inspection, you have an inspection report, and it's 25 pages long, and your client asks you, how much does it cost to fix all of these items? Porch, for free, will price out every item in that inspection response. It'll price it out for you free. Normally, this is $95. You guys get each Porch report for free. So I'm just going to click on the details to show you really quick and show you kind of what it looks like. So see how it says you upload the PDF of your inspection report, and then you get items like this. Carpenter, handyman. All right, to fix this item, it's going to cost you, I'm blind, $550. Okay. And it's going to divide it up by skill. I think that's really cool. Okay. So now, how do we access Porch? First thing we have to do is we have to turn on the app. Mine's already turned on, so my button is just manage app. For you guys, I want you to just to add it on. Okay. How do you know that it works? Well, first of all, it'll tell you it's on. Then when I go back to the settings, and I'm going to go back to opportunities again and show you what happens. What do you mean, but wait, there's more? That's so funny. Okay, so let's go back to that same one. Where did I put it? I think I moved him to an appointment, right? There's Superman. when we click on Superman, if you've added Porch to your system, boom, there it is right there in the details section of your opportunity, okay? And you click on the Get Started button, and it'll ask you to upload a PDF. Now, I'm gonna give you one little trick here. The first time you use Porch, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, I would put it in your name, act like you're the buyer and the agent, okay? The reason is I want you to see what you're sending to your clients and what the whole process is, okay? So do it to yourself first, get the report, and you'll love it. Okay, so we've added Porch, we have added DocuSign. So now let's go to documents, and let's go back to where we were in the consultation stage, and let's say we have to get our duties owed done. All right, and you say, well, I have to get it signed. I have to get it signed. So now I'm going to click on the Start a Transaction button. And when you click this, so the Start Transaction button will not show up unless you have DocuSign. And guys, we're only going to spend a couple minutes in here. DocuSign by itself is a class all by itself, okay? But I'm just going to do it really quick for you. And then just like all the other MCTTs, we all teach weekly classes. If you guys want to join in my Tech Tuesday class, I'm going to just type it in the thing. You're welcome to, and then ask me then, and we can really dig in a little bit more. It's 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the link is www.kwrszoom.com. I just put it in the window, okay? So we want to, whoops, cancel. We want to add a document into this window in DocuSign. So we just click the add button over here in the upper right. Now, here's where it's tricky. Do you want to do it from your computer? So you can just upload something from your computer, or in Nevada, we have DocuSign forms. I can just click on a DocuSign form and do it right there. And there's all of our documents, okay? I'm just going to do addendum 1 just because. Add selected. Now, what I'm not doing here, you guys, is filling it in. That's a whole different process. Let's say instead you just want to add a document that you've already worked on. So let me do that way, because I do everything. Maybe I used Transaction Desk or AuthentiSign or something else. Then you just go to your computer and pick one. All right, so here's an addendum. I'm going to use the same one just because. I hope this is a good one. I don't even know. And then it adds the document. Once the document has been added, this is where it gets a little tricky. See this little box in the corner? You just got to click on the box, and then it opens up this menu. Watch what happens. I disconnect, it's gone. I connect it, it's on. I just want to create an envelope. That's signing. See the pen? I'm going to sign it. And for those of you guys who have had DocuSign in the past, this is where it starts to look familiar to you, right? You guys remember this? And then what I love about the system is you can come down here and change. This is the email that you're going to send to all your participants, but you just go to, who are we going to send this to? I'm just going to go to room participants. So it's so cool because I already had Superman's email address in there. All I have to do is say, I'm just going to send it to email to them. So only Superman is going to sign it. And then on DocuSign, up here in the upper right-hand corner is the yellow buttons are kind of your key. And then we're going to sign this really quick, and then we will wrap this up. Cool beans. So this is one, remember, this is one that I already created. So let's just change the name. Let's say instead of David, it's Superman. All we have to do, pre-tag. You know, Sean, there is a way to pre-tag all the roles, but I didn't have time to do that in here. So if you want to learn how to set up templates so that all of this is already done, because the system knows with one signer on an addendum because I already set it up, that it already puts these signatures in place, then DocuSign can do that for you. You're exactly right, Sean. That's important. So I'm just sliding over the signature. So I slide over the date signed, and that's it. And then I click send. When I click send, it's done, or it's sent off to Superman to sign. And it just so happens that Superman is me. I know you guys didn't know that. And you can click on it right here to see what's going on with the situation. Okay, Superman hasn't even seen it, you know. Once they get, Superman is going to get an email. Let me see if I actually set it up and you guys can see the email that I got. Whoop, there's Paul telling me about the class. Nice. We're going to get rid of my search window. There it is at the very top. Do you guys see that? This is the email that I just got. And this is what your client is going to see. So like I said, try it once on your own first so you see how the whole process works. So I'm right now, I'm Superman, I'm a client. I just have to review the document. I'm going to allow it my location, and that's for time zones, you guys. That's for time zones, okay? I know, don't judge me on my emails. Hoarder here, click on the continue button, and then on every DocuSign, you have to start. I click on start, and you can do it on your phone. It'll take you right to where the signing is, okay? I click sign, it's gonna say, hey, Jimmy, how do you wanna do it? And your clients are gonna be the same one. I'm saying that one's fine. And then I click finish. Your clients will sometimes forget to hit finish, so make sure you hit finish, okay? And then that's it. I'm not gonna log in, I'm not gonna do anything that. Let's run back into command and see what happened. Now, when I go back to DocuSign, if I refresh my window, you guys will, and I would get an email with the signed document, just so you know. But I'm gonna hit the refresh and it's gonna say, how come it didn't say it's done? Oh well, it doesn't matter because it should be done already. There it is. I had to click retouch. It's signed. It's done already. Okay. Now I can come in here and I can actually select the duties owed and I can get it from DocuSign automatically. So I would just upload it to here, just using the select button. Okay. I don't know why it's giving me no. Oh, let's go to DocuSign, and then it should show up right here. And it's not, so not sure what I did wrong there, but it's 2 o'clock, and I promised I would be done right at 2 o'clock. So really quick, any questions for you guys? Because I know I slam-bammed that in like 23 minutes. Was there any questions on opportunities on DocuSign and all that stuff? No one asked anything, Paul, so I know I'm in trouble.
You're just perfect, man, in every way.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah, go ahead.
On the pre-tag roles, we didn't have to do that. That wasn't templates on our side. DocuSign
really?
did it all. Yeah, DocuSign did it automatically.
Oh, then maybe I haven't set up something right on mine, because I usually only just use DocuSign just for signing stuff. And so, yeah, I have to check into that.
Awesome, man. Hey, if you got any questions, make sure you drop it in the box. Jimmy's still going to be around for a little bit. Victoria just dropped a question. Is there an opportunity for a new account, Jimmy?
And is an opportunity a new account? I'm not sure what you mean. No, you're using your same DocuSign account. It is opening up a new room on DocuSign. And an opportunity is attached to a contact. So it's you've already had the contact made. So I guess in that sense, it's not a new account.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks, Jimmy. As always, you're such a dynamic speaker, and you drop the bombs. Following up, we're going to go into design. Shane is someone who is a wealth of knowledge in this field. So he's going to go through designs with us, anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes. Drop your questions, follow along, and let's go. Shane, the floor is yours.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Paul. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I am the Director of Agent Services and MCTT for Sonoran Living, which is Market Center 728 and 99. And let's just jump right into designs as soon as I can share my screen. All right. I'm not seeing the green box. Is it sharing?
It was for a second. I see a black screen right now.
It's doing something weird. 1 second. Let me try again.
So it's sharing something. Okay, now we're back to you.
Okay.
There we go. We got it.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to dive into designs today. So when you first log into Command, if you're not familiar with all of the icons, you can always click on the red KW to see the labels. And we're going to go down to designs. And now we're in the dashboard. So what I like to do is take a few minutes to kind of go over what you see when you first get to the dashboard, and then what you see once you get to the design mode. So when you first log into your dashboard in designs, what you're seeing here are designs that you, or in this case, me, have created. These are your designs, they're on your Command desktop. If you come up here to the drop down, you can filter between specific types, and you can sort from oldest to or newest. But these are all of your existing designs. Now, if you're wanting to create a new design, you're going to come up here and click on the green button, and you're going to select what type of design it's going to be. And for today's purposes, we're going to go with social. You can choose to import photos and text, or you can choose to do that at a later date. And we're going to wait and select that a little bit later. So for right now, we're going to click on continue. And this is going to open up into the actual design mode. Now, while this is loading, one thing you're going to notice is up here in the address bar, this does change from a kw.com site to a webrand.com site. So that means we're actually going into somebody else's system. Sometimes there can be a little few hiccups, it might load a little slow. If that happens, just try refreshing, and then it will usually solve it. All right, now that you're in the design mode dashboard, let's take a look at what we're seeing. When we go down the left side, we're looking at categories of existing templates to choose from. So you can expand each section, select an item, and then the center display will change, and you're going to see all of, for example, this is all of the listing for sale templates. And we can come down here to just listed. It's another option. And now we see all of these. And you can go through and see each one. Now going across the top right here, this is just another filter. So most of our designs, especially on the social media, have three options: either a wide, a square, or a vertical stories. So for like Snapchat or Facebook stories, Instagram stories, you can click on these and it will filter it to just those specific formats. Make sense? All right. So this is what we see when you go down the side. When we go across the top, if you click on My Designs, this will take you in, and this will also show you the same thing that you were seeing on the design desktop when we were on the command side. Personally, I think this is a little bit harder to navigate, and I like to navigate from the command desktop, not this specific one when it comes to my existing designs. But either way, it gets you to the same result. And then if we click here to assets, this is where you can come in and save some pre-stored or set up some pre-stored settings for common use. So for example, if you have a specific color design, maybe you have a graphic logo and you have a very specific color number you like to use, you can come in here and set those colors. That way they are available for you constantly when you're in design mode. Same thing with images. You can come in and upload your images. As you can see, I have a variety of headshots that I can select from that are given notice. Text. Most of this text is going to pull in from your marketing profile. But if you wanted to add something else, maybe you had a common slogan that you like to use, you could click on Add New Field, select what it's going to be, create a label, and put that text in there. And then that text sample is available for you throughout the rest of your design life. Same for logos. This is handy. I would recommend getting all of your market center specific logos and several versions of your equal housing and your realtor logos and get those all uploaded so they're available for you. Elements is a fun one. If you have a downloaded pack of specific icons, stickers, anything like that, like you would see in Facebook Messenger, you can actually add those in here and have them available for your designs. And then you can also upload videos, and you can upload files as well. All right, so let's go back to templates. So I want to show you how to use some of the controls. So we're going to just pick a random image and we're going to click on use for now. We'll go back and kind of dive into that more in a moment. But I wanted to go over what you see when you're in the actual design mode, because I find this is where a lot of agents, myself included, it threw me for a while because there's just so much. If you've used Photoshop, I will guarantee you that designs is 1,000 times easier than Photoshop. But you just have to know the controls. So let's go across and start with the top. So right now we have nothing selected. So it's giving us the options for drawings that we can add, shapes that we could draw, oops, frames, and text. But I'm going to go back and get rid of this and show you what you see when you start to click on things. So right now I've clicked on the image itself, and you're going to see that I could either click on this icon here to change the background image, which I'm going to undo, or, and it's really hard to see right now, but if you look right here, there's a little dot and it's currently white. That is your background color. You can click here and easily change your background colors with just a click of the button. Now, when you click on an element of text, your control bar up here at the top is going to change. So now what do we have? This is your font. You can choose from multiple styles of font, and you can even upload your own font file. You can set the size of the font. Oh, that just made it really small. And that just made it a little bit bigger. This is your typewriter. So I will give you a tip. I did not know about the typewriter for the longest time. And I found that trying to get in here to type was a little challenging. Use the typewriter. It is awesome. You can easily come in here, type and save your changes quickly. Got your bold controls, italics, underline, changing the letter case. So if you wanted it all to be lowercase or all uppercase, oops, you can easily switch that there as well. And then here is your font color. Make sense? All right, so now let's take a look at what happens when you click on an image. When you click on an image, that your control bar changes again. You're going to have a blue outline around the image, and you can now reposition it. You can add filters to it, which is kind of a cool touch. You can change the opacity. So maybe you want some text to show up more prominent. You can change it to the background. You can do that. And you can remove that background color, or background photo. Now your controls up here, I just wanted to point this out. You've got your undo. I use this all the time. If you haven't noticed, this is one of my favorite parts of signs is the undo, because I like to test things out, decide, oh, I just do not like that color. Let's try a different color. Oh, that's awful. Undo. And I'm right back where I started. All right. Let's take a look here. All right, so going down the side, let's take a look at some of our controls now. So when we're wanting to add something to an image or to a template, you can click on images and you have a couple of options. You can either click on the image itself and it's going to add to your, well, maybe not. There we go. So I clicked on the plus and I added my image to the design. Well, that isn't exactly what I would want to do, so I'm going to remove that. I'm going to undo. Or I can just select it and delete. So you can add images that way. Another way to add an image is to swap it out. So let's say for some crazy reason, I wanted to get rid of this photo and I wanted to put my glorious face on here instead. I'm going to select the photo. I want to make sure that it has the blue outlined around it. I'm going to come over to the photo I want. And you'll notice that there's now a swap icon. So I'm going to click that swap icon and it put it in exactly the way it needed to be, including with the little rounded edges, everything. So that is an easy way to swap your images out. So let's go down to text. So now you can add additional text. I usually go with the text body. I think it's a little easier to work with. You just add that text in there. Don't forget you can click on the typewriter to actually do your typing. I'm going to click Save Changes. And well, those letters don't show up very well, so let's change the color from black to bright red. Ah, now it shows up. This is a text box. All right, you can also add banners. There's some that are pre-saved in here. Your workspace, this is going to be anything that pulls in from, for example, from your assets. I'm sorry, your assets are over here. Here are your assets that are pulling in from your marketing profile, and you can easily put those in as well. Let's say I wanted to change this address down here and swap it out with my address. Well, guess what? I have a little swap icon again. I click that swap icon, and it's now updated the address. I didn't have to type anything, and it put it in perfectly. A lot of cool functions there. Now let's go down to logos. Well, we remember from our assets, we had already uploaded all of our logos. If you need to add that in, you're just going to click on the button. It adds it in, and then you can position and adjust it where you need it to be. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Remove this one too. All right. Elements. We kind of talked about that. Elements are like icon packs or image packs that you can add in from, similar to like what you see in Facebook Messenger, etc. But those can be kind of fun to add fun images in, maybe for holidays or something. Let's get that out of there. And then there's the KWLS, the listing service. So you'll remember when we started the design, we wanted to have a social media design. and we did not choose to select a specific listing. This is where you can come in and do that. So now I want to say, select that I am going to be using a specific listing. So I'm going to type in or search in here. I have one picked out. It is 4774 East Court. See if I can find that. And here it is. So this is the listing that I'm wanting to feature. So I'm going to select it. We're going to give it a few moments to populate. It actually populates a little bit faster if you do it from the very beginning, but you can do it from here as well. And now we're seeing all of the images are coming in. And also all of the listing details are in here as well. So let's see what we can do. We can click on my glorious mug and we're going to swap that out. Let's find a really nice photo. Oh, this pool is awesome. Let's put the pool in. We're going to feature this pool. And voila. So it's that easy to modify your text or your images using something from the listing itself. All right. Do we have any questions so far? Nothing popping in. All right, so next thing I wanted to talk about is pre-planning. So here's something I really think is a really sound strategy. At the beginning of this past year, when I was still in production, I went through and I sat down and went through all of the images. It took me a little bit of time, but I found a set of images or graphic designs that I liked, that really spoke to me. And I noticed that that particular style was available for just about every image type. So I selected that as my preferred style. I then went in and I created a template for each and every one in multiple forms. So that way I could easily have them available. So what does that look like? Let me go back. We're going to go back to the home page. I'm not going to save anything here. And I'm actually going to go back even further to command, because I like to look at my designs, my saved designs from the design dashboard here. It's a little easier for me to see. So I'm going to change this to social media. And what I did earlier this year was I created a just sold wide, a just sold square, a just sold story, which is right here. I had coming soon. I had 3 versions of the coming soon, 3 versions of the for sale, and 3 versions of the just listed. Now, why did I do that? Because it did take a couple of hours to sit down, select them all, and design that template. Now, let's say say that listing on Ute Street was mine, and I wanted to advertise that. And I'm in a time crunch. So let's see how fast I can whip something out. I'm going to open up my master copy. And it's what, 222? So I've got my master copy opened. I'm going to designate which listing it is. So that was 4774 East Court. And here's the listing. I'm going to select that. Give it a moment to populate. And you'll notice that because this was my master that I've already completed, all of my stuff is already in here. This is all set. I don't have to stop and mess with
we've just lost your audio, mate.
What's that?
No, I hear him. I hear him.
Okay.
Go ahead, Shane. You're good.
All right. So everything, all of my settings are still here.
Right.
So now I'm going to click on this image and I'm going to swap it out for this one right here. All right. So my image has been swapped. I need to update the address. So I've selected the address It's highlighted in blue. I'm going to come over here to the listing details. And here I have the address. I'm going to click on the swap icon and the address is done. I'm going to come over here to the price, make sure that the price is highlighted in blue. And let's find the listing price. My price is updated. Number of bedrooms. Oh, 2 bedrooms. This one is a manual, so I'm going to change that to 2. And it's 2 bathrooms. They're already set there. Square feet. I'm going to swap that out. And guess what? I'm done. So that took me 2 minutes to create a coming soon or a just listed graphic that I can now quickly upload to Facebook or Twitter or wherever else I wanted to send that. Let's come back in and take a look at that. Where did it go? The one thing you want to make sure that you do, especially when you're teaching a class and you're trying to show off, is make sure you hit save. So I apparently forgot to hit save when I was doing that. So let's try that again. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to click on my, oh no, actually I did hit save. That's it right here. Ah, thanks, Plaid Dad. So go to my social. It was the just listed. Here we go. Thanks for that, Plaid Dad. All right, so there's my image. And I was able to do that, minus the lost image for a moment. I was able to do that in about 2 minutes and get that put out. Now I want to show you one other thing that can be a little bit of a challenge for folks, because I know it was a challenge for me. And that is using the, find it here. The neighborhood snaps. All right, so let's say you want to put out a nice, pretty looking neighborhood snap. So let's go in here to the social square, because I like that one the most. And let's say this is the one I wanted to use. So I'm going to click on the listing, or click on the graphic. And I will tell you, the first time I tried to change one of these market snaps, I spent about 2 hours trying to figure out how to do it. And then I realized I was doing it all wrong. So you click on the image, come over here to KWLS, and go to snapshots. Once you've selected snapshots, now you're going to put in your neighborhood. So let's say it's going to be Carriage Lane, Mesa AZ. Find that one, and there it is. So I'm going to click on that one. It's going to take a moment. Well, let's try this one. There we go. Now it's populating. I have found that sometimes the neighborhood snap takes a few moments to populate, and sometimes I have to reload it a few times. But once you do, once it does populate, you just hit that swap button. This will clear up in a moment. It's still loading. These prices, or these numbers should be accurate. I would always recommend double checking just to be on the safe side, but these should be accurate numbers for you. But you easily just switched out this market or this neighborhood snap, and you can save that as well. All right, well, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to go over today. Did anybody have any questions?
All right, Shane, thanks so much, man, for bringing so much value. Appreciate everything that you do for our people. Guys, as you can tell, these MCTTs, they're a wealth of resource. They really know their stuff. We do have one coming up next month as well. We're going to go over contacts, smart plans, and referral patterns. And again, we're going to bring some of our greatest MCTTs to the front so that they can kind of share their wisdom with you guys. We will be recording this and we'll be sending it out to your leadership team. So please hit them up for the recording so you can go over it. In the meantime,
Hey, Paul.
Great week. Any questions, any comments?
Hey, Paul, can I take 30 seconds really quick just to
Yeah.
hit that pre-tag rules thing? I've already got it pulled up, so it should be really quick.
Playdad is one of our great MCTTs as well. So he's going to give you a wealth of knowledge
I
here.
appreciate the time. So I just grabbed 4 documents from one of my opportunities in my rooms in my DocuSign. I click on here and add recipient. It says pre-tagged roles right here. All you have to do is click that, and I'm going to name who I want those roles to be. So I've got buyer 1. That's going to be Fred Flintstone. I've got myself. I don't need to sign any of these documents. I just hit add selected. It's going to take me right to here. Again, the name and email address is going to be there. And then I will click next. And as soon as we get in here, you'll see that all of the places where Fred Flintstone needs to either sign or initial are already going to be here. So the reason I picked this document specifically is because this has got 3 different options. You may or may not be familiar with this particular document. So I need to figure out which one of these Fred is going to sign and then get rid of the other ones. But it's putting into all 3 of those. So I'm going to say, yep, I need this one. So I'm going to make sure that I make that as a required field. And then I'm just going to delete these. Just hit delete. All right, similar on all of these, there's a signature date. This is the contract. All the initials are here. Of course, you would have filled it out before you actually do this. But I just want to show you the docs. So that's how you get all those pre-tagged roles. You don't have to sit there. Again, if you're in Arizona and this is your contract, this is one of those places where you have to figure out which one is which, depending on when the house was built. So I'm going to make this one required, and I'm going to make this one disappear. Any questions on that really quick?
Pre-tagged roles are a lifesaver.
Yes, they absolutely make this 5 minutes or less. You can get this thing out rather than having to drag all those signatures in. You still can, if you need to, you can still bring in a signature. You can still bring in your initials. You can still bring a name in or a date if you need to, but all those things are, that was not a date. That was a date. So if you have any questions, just hit up any one of us and we are always at your disposal.
Amazing. I love it. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it, guys. So again, guys, just look out for the recording, go back over it, and we'll see you next month. Have a great week.